All right, good morning. I'm Washoe County Sheriff Darren Balaam. Thanks for coming here this morning. A few items to begin. You'll notice that we've placed you all 6 feet apart from each other. You will also notice that we've increased the space between us behind the podium. We thought it was important to do a press conference in person and show you that we are united in responding to the COVID-19. And we wanted the residents of Washoe County to know we are prepared. So we are doing it with social distancing. It may also be our last in-person press conference, but I assure you it will not be our last message to our community. And so, to our community, we are prepared. We are continually working as new information comes in, and we will get through this together. With the governor's directive last night, we know that many members of our community may be feeling anxious and scared, and will most likely be finding themselves home much more than ever before. I would encourage you to take this time to take care of one another, look out for one another, and remember, we are all in this together. If you are able, call your elderly neighbor and ask if there's anything you can do to help. Call a loved one and say hello. I want to assure you that while the Washoe County Sheriff's Office and other first responding agencies have made some changes to the way we conduct business, all regional law enforcement agencies and their patrol operations are continuing and will continue as normal. Our number one priority is the health and safety of the men and women that serve our agencies and to the citizens of our community. With the number of businesses in our community that are now closed, we have increased the number of patrols throughout the entire community. Additionally, I have asked the public previously, and I will ask you again today, if you are experiencing influenza-like symptoms and you find yourself in need of emergency services, if it does not immediately jeopardize your safety, please let the 911 call taker know if you or someone you are with is experiencing influenza-like symptoms. As the situation continues to evolve and change, my pledge to you is to keep you all informed. We will get through this together. And now I'd like to introduce Chairman of Washoe County Commission, Bob Lucy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Sheriff Balaam. I want to thank all of our media partners who are here participating and practicing social distancing at this time. Especially you watching live online right now, we also want to thank you for tuning in. I also want to thank Governor Sisolak, who is leading the effort for all of us with a strong action to ensure health and safety within our state. We are following the state's lead to continue to coordinate our response to this dynamic and very fluid public health crisis. I am proud of the efforts to date from our stellar Washoe County Health District. We have been actively working to keep our community healthy and informed. We have issued a declaration of emergency, held numerous media briefings, and have been working together with the state to get resources to the citizens as they need. The governor last night made it clear to all of us that closing all non-essential businesses at this time is in the best interest of all of us to protect the lives here in the Silver State. I would also follow suit and urge Washoe County residents to please stay home for Nevada. It's quick, short-term actions like these that I believe will best combat long-term effects to our health, well-being, and economy. We are not going to let this pandemic destroy our heritage or our futures. These decisions have never been made in a place of panic, but rather out of preparedness of slowing the spread for health to our community. We need to continue to help our healthcare system and first responders address the public health crisis. We must be smart and take common sense preventative measures and be advised that our medical community and public health officials encouraging social distancing and avoiding large crowds. We are also calling on those who are healthy and able to reach out to our elderly neighbors, the vulnerable family and friends within our community, and ensure that we're looking out for those who may need our help at this time. Our priority is to help the residents and families of Washoe County get back to a normal life as soon as possible. We are here working for you, and again, I cannot stress enough, please do not panic. Keeping calm under these uncertain times is our best ally. We will get through this together as Nevadans. We are a strong and resilient state and county and region. And now I'd like to turn it over to our City of Reno's council member, Oscar Delgado.
Thanks, Chair Lucy. I'm Reno City Councilman Oscar Delgado on behalf of Mayor Hillary Sheevy and the Reno City Council and the City of Reno's leadership. Thanks for having me here today. As we've already touched on already, these are difficult and challenging times. We want Reno residents to know that alongside our regional partners, we have been preparing and are prepared as we try to prevent the spread of this disease throughout our community. That said, this is a rapidly evolving situation that will require us to be ready as things change and progress in the coming hours, days, and weeks. Because we know that nearly 30% of our Washoe County population identifies as Latino and Spanish-speaking, and many prefer their first language, I will deliver the rest of my remarks in Spanish. Buenos días, mi nombre es Oscar Delgado, concejal de la ciudad de Reno. Entiendo que este es un momento mucho preocupación y quiero darles información en español. La ciudad de Reno ha tomado la decisión de limitar las horas de personal en todos los departamentos y responder a las funciones importantes solo hasta menos del 5 de abril de 2020. El público ya no puede presentar el informe en persona a la sesión de Reno PD y les recomienda visitar renopd.com o llamar 775-33-2175 para presentar informes que no sean de emergencia. Las funciones de seguridad pública y los servicios como patrullas, policías, de sesiones de bomberos y el 911 no serán afectados. Siguiendo las ordenaciones de la alcaldesa, todas las empleadas de la ciudad de Reno que no pueden trabajar de casa o de forma remota han recibido instrucciones de hacerlos. Ayer el gobierno de CESOLEX anunció varios pasos que el Estado de Nevada ha hecho y quiero asegurarme de que están informados. Solo los servicios necesarios deben permanecer abiertos, como los servicios de bomberos, policía, tránsito, atención médica, además de los negocios que brindan alimentos, refugio y servicios sociales. Otros negocios necesarios incluyen farmacias, supermercados, bancos y gasolineras. Restaurantes todavía pueden abrir servicios de comida para llevar y recoger. Tenemos varias maneras de comunicarse con la ciudad de Reno en español. La primera opción es para llamar 775-334-4636. Cuando lo llamen, marque 3 para servicio en español. Por favor, deja su nombre y su número de teléfono y nos podemos contactar con ustedes el antes posible. También, si quieren comunicarse en correo electrónico, por favor, nos pueden contactar en español @reno.gov. Les recomendamos que todos nosotros necesitamos trabajar juntos en este vario clima. Por último, síganos en la página de Facebook en la ciudad de Reno en español. And with that being said, please thank you again for this opportunity. Please let's look over for one another and what's been introduced, and I'd like to introduce our Reno PD Deputy Chief, Ollie Miller.
Thank you, Councilman Delgado. Good morning, everyone. My name is Oliver Miller, and on behalf of the men and women of the Reno Police Department, I want to thank the mayors, the elected officials for having us here today. Chief Soto wanted to be here, but he's been in continuous meetings working through the complex issues of this pandemic and its effect on the safety, security, and welfare of this community. I'd also like to take a moment and recognize Mayor Hillary Sheevy, who is also unable to be at this meeting today. Her courage and leadership in decision-making during these difficult times has undoubtedly helped to mitigate exposure risks to our community. Your Reno Police Department is committed to working in concert with other regional law enforcement partners and state and local elected officials to reduce the spread of this deadly virus. Chief Soto is currently in Carson City working on a strategy with our state partners to secure additional test kits for our local community and first responders. I wanted to take a moment to express that our officers live in this community. The same that could be said for our deputies and every other LEO. Our kids attend these schools. We shop at the same stores and we eat at the same restaurants. We are sensitive to what these temporary closures mean to our community and the toll it will take. Now more than ever, we need to come together. To that end, we will be answering questions and providing updates through the Reno Direct Hotline, our city websites, and social media outlets when information becomes available. We support our governor and his efforts to reduce the spread of this pandemic, and I want to assure our community that just because businesses are temporarily closed, your public safety is not. We will be increasing our patrol presence to protect your businesses and vulnerable populations during this crisis. We've directed our agency to conduct business checks and increase patrols presence in all affected areas. We'll be working 24/7 to keep you safe and informed until this order is lifted. Until then, please stay safe, healthy, and look out for one another. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Ed Lawson, I'm Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Sparks. Today, we stand in solidarity with our regional partner to do everything we can to slow the spread of the COVID-19. We fully support the governor's decision to ask non-essential businesses to shut their doors for 30 days and thank him for his leadership. As community leaders, we're hearing this with you and going through this with you. As this certainly is an unprecedented time in our world, and we have lots of questions, as I'm sure that all of you do. Know that we are doing our absolute best to get answers to you, including what resources, services, and programs are available. Our highest priority is the health and safety of our community, including our employees. Our first responders are working diligently to keep you safe. Please, if you need to dial 911, please do so. Be aware that we are focusing our resources on our highest priority calls. The city, Sparks City Hall is still conducting business. Most walk-in services are suspended, but online services continue to be available, and we ask that you utilize those when you can to apply and renew business licenses and pay your sewer bill. Other services available are by appointment only. We have a list of all of those on our website. Most importantly, right now is a time for us to practice social distancing, but it's not a time for us to forget about our neighbors and those in need. Be kind to one another. Check your neighbors. Help those in need by calling them and asking what they may need. If you're able to do so, drop off some necessities such as food, medical supplies, toilet paper, and whatever else might be needed. Support local businesses when you have a chance. Grab a takeout when you can. During this period, it's important to do what we can to keep our community whole. We will continue to follow the recommendations of the Governor's Office, the CDC, and the Washoe County Health Districts, and suggest that you do the same. In the coming weeks, I want to call on all of our citizens to choose your attitude. The attitude is going to be the difference in what makes us get through this pandemic. And I hope you choose empathy over selfishness. I hope you choose ethics over unfairness. I hope you choose logic over lunacy. Choose to be inclusive over being thoughtless. Choose to love, not hate. Choose charitable over callous. Every one of our citizens are leaders in some aspects of their lives. Choose to be a leader. True leaders know when to follow. This is a time to follow. We're going to need your leadership in the coming weeks, and we're going to do our best in the coming weeks to keep you all informed. Be patient. We're not perfect beings. and we will do our best, as I'm sure that you'll be doing your best. Please visit the Sparks website for any further information you may need. Thank you.
And with that, we'll open it up to any questions there may be.
But how many, any estimate of the number of businesses that are closing?
We don't have that number right now. Again, since it just was made last night, we're working on that, and as businesses, and we can put those on our web pages to inform the public, we will.
How do we know, we're getting a lot of questions from businesses that they're confused whether or not they're part of the non-essential category that has to shut down. How do they know if they're part of that category?
As the sheriff just pointed out, this is an ever-changing fluid situation. A lot of us got the information last night from the governor's office. Our staff that are here are working to find out and identify through a number of means and channels what those essential and non-essential businesses are and what that definition will be. Remember, we are still urging those individuals that congregate in mass within their businesses maybe to consider that social distancing or consider operations that may be better conducive during this next 30-day period. However, we are working with, like I said, with the chamber and a number of agencies throughout the community to identify what those businesses may be, and we will be in touch with you as that comes further along.
How is the order being enforced locally?
I'm going to let the sheriff answer that.
So again, right after this meeting, we'll be meeting with all law enforcement and first responders and the DA's office to determine how that will be. Again, what I would ask all the community, right, is we have to take care of each other, look out for each other. I know this is going to be hard on everybody, but I would just remind us, we're all going to get together and get through this together. So please work with us. We will be working with all of our partners, the state, local entities, businesses, of how we get through this.
Do you expect there to be some sort of in-person visitation by officers, deputies, to local businesses to make sure they're closed?
For right now, until we determine how we're going to do that, we will determine working with all of our partners. And then once we do that, we will be messaging out so that we let those businesses know and the community. Again, this may be our last press conference in person, but you can look, and I will reassure you, look through all the agencies, all the cities and county. We will be trying to communicate one voice, one message routinely. This won't be our last messaging to you.
And I think everybody's sympathetic to the idea this is a brand new thing. It's new, you got to sort this out. But has there been any sort of basic understanding yet of essential, non-essential? I've been asking about marijuana dispensaries. Do you know where they fall?
Those meetings, I can tell you right now, are going on down in Carson as well as locally.
What is happening to our residents living in motels and long-term stay at casinos and other hotels here in town? What's happening with them?
We've been working with the health district and a number of those properties to identify those individuals. We will be continuing to address those concerns as they arise. We don't have those numbers in total, but this, like we have said all along, is still a rapidly evolving situation. And we will bring you more information from the health district and all of our law enforcement agencies throughout the organizations and the regional municipalities to address those needs as they continue to come forward.
Is there a concern, you guys are stepping up patrols all over the community, is there a concern there could be break-ins or looting or something like that some of these businesses close down?
Absolutely, that's our concern. Anytime we have a reduction in this, so that's why, again, all law enforcement, we're collaborating together. We're going to be doing, just like when we've had other critical incidents where we've unified, we've sent our patrols out, so we will be looking at those businesses and making sure that we protect them and reassuring the community that we have their best interest and safety at heart and their businesses that will be closed down.
Going to be any tax relief for some of these small businesses, or is that kind of federal working its way down?
As you know, right now, the federal government and the administration are currently working on tax initiatives. There have been discussions from the Congress and through the administration on what those tax initiatives may be and relief may be. We still haven't seen what the details are, though, specifically, but we know that the President is working on a bipartisan issue on both sides and with our Nevada delegation to address any future needs our state may need.
This is for there any new cases as of this morning?
Kevin Dick, District Health Officer. We don't have any new cases as of this morning. Yesterday, we released the total number of confirmed cases that we have in Washoe County, which is 12.
Do you guys have any kind of plan in place to handle if part of the homeless population comes down with COVID-19?
Continually, we are working from the manager's office on a number of issues to, if housing becomes a necessary need for individuals for isolation, we are working on that through our REOC, which is our Regional Emergency Operating Center, and in concert with the Health District. At this time, that need isn't necessary as we know it, but we have been working on a protocol to address that in the coming days.
And are you guys working with any landlords potentially to ask them to possibly give some rent forgiveness for April, possibly?
I can't, we are having those discussions. I can't speak for the city of Reno and city of Sparks, but at the county, we are having those discussions, but we have not come to any type of answer to that yet.
Is that up to landlords basically, if they want to do that or not?
Once again, that is not something I can really comment on at this time.
Do you anticipate once you sort out what's essential, what's not, will it be sort of a grace period? Are we going to look at maybe more realistically into the week before there be kind of any hard enforcement of the order?
Our understanding from what we heard last night from Governor Sisolak and his staff was that he would like to urge those businesses to be closed by noon today. However, we still, as I said earlier, had not identified specifically what those non-essential and essential businesses are. He did outline in his press release that a majority of those businesses that he was referring to were bars, restaurants, nightclubs, anywhere that the mass public would be amassing together. Those would be the priorities for him. However, a number of professional services would still be available as essential businesses. So until we have that distinctive understanding from his office, we can't really answer that specifically. Any other questions?
Does anybody have any experience with law enforcement, government in your lifetimes that you might compare what we're going through here to, or would be similar in any way?
Sheriff,
So I would tell you, this is a first for all of us. We've had critical events in the past where we've had floods and fires, but nothing of this magnitude. So again, that's why, as first responders, that's why we're having this press conference, to let the community know we are coming together. We are meeting on a regular basis. This is fluid, and as we get information, again, we know it's vital to communicate that to the community. We are going to do that, and we are going to address on an hourly, if not daily basis, our policies and procedures of how we address this situation as it continues to go.
There's a lot of people obviously coming out for what happened in the Bay Area with shelter in place. There's some people that are wondering if that could happen here. Is that a possibility? Can you put people's minds at rest?
You know, I would tell you again, that's, we're going to look at that on a daily basis with the health district and the state. And I will assure you that if that comes to that situation, we are working on plans of how do we deliver meals? How do we do all of that? So again, we are having those meetings right now. If it comes to that, again, I think the biggest thing we need to take away from this is we have to look out for each other, care for one another, and we have to protect each other. So when we're done with this, we can all walk away and get back to the way it was, and continue to flourish like we were before. But we got to maintain our health and safety of all of our residents here.
Have you guys increased the amount of operators at 911? How are you guys sorting out so that the people at home understand specifically what a true emergency is so that you're not flooded with so many calls?
So again, we're working with our first responders. RIMSA, we're setting up a phone line. That's why we're meeting at our REOC, Regional Operations Center. We'll be setting up some phone lines there as well so that people, and we're encouraging, if you have flu-like symptoms, I cannot stress this enough, please call those numbers. We've all been putting those numbers out there on all of our web pages of where to call, so you can be triaged by the health district or the other phone lines. But if it's an emergency where if we didn't have the coronavirus, you would call 911, please call 911. If you're uncertain, you can call. We have experienced an increase in calls at 911. But as right now, the men and women up there are doing a phenomenal job.
I just saw a question here on Facebook about pets, people owning pets. Is it transferable to pets? People are still asking that. need special advice for Kelly.
One of the discussions that has been had is that this is not transferable to pets. This is a different strain that is specific to humans. At this time, there hasn't been any identified. One of the businesses that has been identified as essential is still veterinary medicine. It falls within the healthcare, so you still can, if you feel the need, to call your veterinary hospital and address that if you have any concerns with your pets. And pet stores, from my understanding, are still operating to get pet food and that type of supplies for animals throughout the community. One thing I'd also like to address for a number of the citizens within our community, we will still be operating RTC bus service at this time. We are working through that with our organization to identify safe protocols, not only for our passengers, but for our operators of all of our bus services. So more of that information will be available at RTC Washoe for your information, but those will still continue to run for a number of our residents. I want to remind you, as Mayor Pro Tem Lawson has stated earlier, we have to come together as a community and continue to push for a place of love and empathy versus a place of scared. We can't allow ourselves to be succumbed by fear at this point. We need to make sure that we're making common sense decisions so that when this will pass, we can stand up as a community once again and remember that we have to look out for everybody in every situation in any part of our region. Any other questions this morning?
We know that there's people living paycheck to paycheck. Just last night I was at my barber shop and they were telling me for single moms, they're freaking out. Is there a plan to help these people if this prolongs longer than kind of what we're looking at right now?
We are working diligently to identify what those plans would be, whether it's from federal government assistance, whether it's from the county's ability to change and alter timelines. We've heard from regional service providers, i.e. Nevada Energy, Truckee Meadows Water Authority, that they will be giving relief to those individuals for a period of time. However, as I've stated before, this is a very fluid situation. Those meetings are ongoing. Every manager within the region, city and county, are discussing those types of challenges with their staff and how we will address those in the future. Anything else? I'm going to let the sheriff wrap this up. Sheriff Bailey.
So again, I want to thank everybody for coming. If you have any issues, questions, again, look at our web pages. We will be continuing to message out through our social platform, through the media. And I cannot stress again, if you have any symptoms and you call for medical services, please let our call takers know so that our emergency responders know. And let's look out for each other. Let's take care of each other, and we will get through this. Thank you again.